Welcome back to Connections. I'm Ruby Franke.
I'm Jodi Hildebrandt. A principle is a governing characteristic that's eternal.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a law.
It is. They are laws that govern our world. They govern the universe. They govern space. And many of these realms or modalities, they don't need humans to make them run.
Principles are not religious, okay? So a lot of people say, well, what's a principle for you isn't a principle for me. And what they're not understanding is that principles have been here long before humans have even been here, long before religion has been here. Principles just are. And so as you study principles, you're studying reality. You're studying what really is. We have agency. We get to choose if we're going to be governed by principles.
Right.
I mean, we are governed by principles, but we get to choose if we're going to be governed by principles of truth or if we're going to be governed by principles of distortion.
Right. And so if you bring a distorted principle into any realm, it violates the principles of truth. So you no longer will have this movement that naturally moved in truth. You will contaminate it. You will create a counterfeit. And so at some point it is going to start decomposing. It's going to start breaking down. It's going to die. Culture right now. And probably many of us have like minds with each other. However, you are either relating to people / yourself, or you are just in a dynamic with people. And here's the difference. When you are relating to someone, you have characteristics of what I call truth going on inside you, and the other person is choosing characteristics of truth inside them, and therefore you're available to connect. You're available to relate. So other principles that I learned is that in order to connect to yourself / another person, I have to live honest, responsible, humble. Because when I'm not honest, responsible, and humble, I am then disconnected. I went to God and I said, people can't understand the word shame. Do you have another word? Can you give me another word? And I heard one day, distorting the truth. And I was like, oh, brilliant! Distortion. Here's what distortion is. I break it into 2 groups. This is core. You got to know this. Self-denigrating distortion, self-adulating distortion. Every single one of us goes into distortion. So I get ready to back the car out, and as I slowly, it wasn't even registering on the speedometer how slow I was going. All of a sudden I felt the dunk, and I looked up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, what did I hit? And I went into massive distortion immediately. And I opened up the car door and I looked back here because that's where I heard it. And there was the body of a cat flipping like this. And I had smashed its head to the cement with the tire. And my perception was that I kill things. I remember thinking that, oh my gosh, I just killed a cat. Like, I've never killed anything in my life.
As you can see, the lifeline is divided into 2 polar extremes, fear and love. Fear is in the negative energy spectrum, and love is in the positive energy spectrum.
Duh.
Excuse me? No, duh is a product of fear. Now, on each card is a character dilemma which applies to the lifeline. Please take this. Thank you. Please read each character dilemma aloud and place an X on the lifeline in the appropriate place. Sharita?
Juanita has an important math test today. She has known about the test for several weeks, but has not studied. In order to keep from failing her class, Juanita decided that she will cheat on the math test.
Good, good, very good. Mr. Darko.
Ling Ling finds a wallet on the ground filled with money. She takes the wallet to the address on the driver's license but keeps the money inside the wallet. I'm sorry, Miss Farmer, I don't get this.
Just place an X on the lifeline in the appropriate place.
No, I mean, I know what to do. I don't get this. You can't just lump things into two categories. Things aren't that simple.
The lifeline is divided that way.
Well, life isn't that simple. I mean, who cares if Ling Ling returns the wallet and keeps the money? It has nothing to do with either fear or love.
Fear and love are the deepest of human emotions.
Okay, but you're not listening to me. There are other things that need to be taken into account here, like the whole spectrum of human emotion. You can't just lump everything into these two categories and then just deny everything else.
If you don't complete the assignment, you'll get a 0 for the day.
Donald, let me preface this by saying that your Iowa test scores are intimidating. So, let's go over this again. What exactly did you say to Ms. Farmer?
I'll tell you what he said. He asked me to forcibly insert the lifeline exercise card into my anus.